Disclaimer. This is a topic that goes way deep in the depth I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Chicago gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at YFG Fatso's life and legacy, commenting on what I feel could have led him into getting involved in street politics, and explaining how I feel Fatso is bringing a more mainstream, versatile sound to this new wave of Chicago drill, making him one of the top artists in the current music scene. Thanks! I hope you enjoy. Before we get started, my nose is a bit stuffy this morning, so I apologize in advance for any vocal weirdness that comes with all that. With that out the way, let's get to it. YFG Fatso is an upcoming drill sensation and the most recent signee to the most popular Chicago record label, OTF, or Only the Family. Unlike the other OTF signees, like for example, Chucky, Fatso has massive mainstream appeal and the ability to switch up his music into a slower, more sad, melodic type music, making his mainstream appeal way higher than his label mates by a large margin, in my humble opinion. With all that being said, Fatso's proclivity towards street activities could very much spell the end of his career if he's not careful, and seeing that he's now a father, I hope he can stay on the straight and narrow and keep his shit going for as long as he can. In early interviews, YFJ Fatso would say he was originally from 46th and Evans, but would move around Chicago a lot as a kid, going from South Side to out west, with Fatso even saying that his uncles were known to be out west with the TTU crew. I'm 90% sure that crew is Vice Lords, but on the real, I ain't trying to ask them, so take that with a grain of salt. I say all this to say, YFG Fatso has been around gangs and gang activities since he was a child, with many of his family being actively involved in criminality as well. It's not an uncommon fate in Chicago, but sadly your surroundings have a lot to do and shape who you become later, and I feel that's definitely the case with Fatso, especially with how Fatso recalls being in crossfires of multiple shootouts as a kid in his J-Main interview. Taking a little detour, a little fun fact on how YFG got his name is, apparently when YFJ Fatso was growing up, he was a bit chubby, so his friends decided to start calling him Fatso. Since he was in the YFG/808 mob crew, he would go on to put the YFG in front of Fatso as a kind of clan tag. Motherfucker decided to name his shit off of a clan tag like it's Call of Duty. Growing up, YFG Fatso would go to school at Carter G. Woodson's elementary school, which going off of YouTube and Reddit comments seems to be a quite treacherous location to gain knowledge. I can't cap. Though, YFG Fatso would end up dropping out of regular school and he would start online classes around 9th grade. Seeing that YFG Fatso was still currently young, he's 17 at the time of making this video, it's unclear whether he stopped going in person to school because of his music popularity, or if it was a choice he made off behavior issues and school shit. Either way though, him taking online classes gave Fatso much more free time to pursue music and criminal activities. As I mentioned before, Fatso is a member of the YFG 808 mob crew, who reps 88th and Princeton block, and is very good evidence that Fatso became a member of this crew off the back of his older brother, who grew up all of his life on the Princeton block. That's my impression, at least, from how Fatso speaks on it. It should also be stated that YFG Fatso said that his older brother is the reason he got into making music in the first place, as his older brother rapped as well. Fatso began to take an interest in music when he was around 12 years old, beginning to post around that same time. On November 27th, 2020, YFG Fatso would go on to drop his first ever music video, that I could find at least, titled Go Go. In this video, you can see a slightly chubby, baby-faced YFG Fatso rapping about all the same shit he raps about now, with a more youthful voice as it seems he's way younger in this video. I'm not gonna lie, this song goes way crazier than I think it should, for how young this motherfucker is. He has a really good grasp on how to flow, matches cadence to his voice, and it's genuinely impressive what he's able to pull off in just his first song. YFG Fatso wouldn't drop his breakthrough track until August 28th, 2023, with his remix to the song Scarface. This song would serve to propel Fatso's career into the mainstream drill zeitgeist, getting nearly 500K without any promotion at all. It's currently sitting at 1 million views. From this song on, YFG Fatso's rise would be unstoppable. The first real industry support Fatso would get would come on February 7th, 2024, when the DCG crew would hop on a song with YFG Fatso named the Princeton Freestyle. This song would go up in a major way and is currently sitting at a solid 3.9 million views, followed directly by the song Reap the City being at 1.8 million views. It seems like YFG was set to be the next up for Chicago's top spot. Things would keep up in momentum after this point, the only real change being that Fatso would have a daughter at the age of 16. While we don't know much about the mother or the baby itself, him being so young and already having kids kinda shows his recklessness. This reckless behavior being one of the reasons I'm worried about his current career trajectory. On October 28th, 2024, the news would break that OTF's head/founder, Lil Durk, and 5 of his affiliates would be arrested in a murder-for-hire plot against their rival Quando Rondo, which led to the passing of Quando's close friend, Lil Pab. This hit being one of the sloppiest and dumbest hit jobs I've seen since the Julio Fulio murder. Apparently, Durk used company credit cards to fly out the shooters, rent the cars, and his dumbass went and met up with the shooters right after the shooting to celebrate their accomplishment, making him easily one of the dumbest crime bosses I've seen in a minute. YB supposedly pays for hits all the time, and you never see him get caught up on some brain dead shit like this. I say this because OTF's hit on Duck was the same level of stupidity. These motherfuckers were caught in 4K, drove right back to their house, wore the same clothes they had on during the hit. It's like OTF got used to Chicago PD not being on shit and just assumed nobody would try to look for them. And in many cases, they were correct. Now Chance, what does this have to do with YFG Fatso, you might ask? Well, YFG Fatso was picked up by police in October as well, though as he's a minor, we can't know what the charges they were trying to give him are. So many people were trying to claim that he had a role in the murder-for-hire plot against Quando Rondo. Let me be 100% clear on this. I fully believe that YFG Fatso's arrest had nothing to do with Durk's murder-for-hire plot, but I bring it up for a specific reason. Durk does not discourage criminal activity in his artists. In fact, he seems to do the opposite, rewarding them for their criminal misdeeds at every turn. If you take on an ethos like this and bring in kids who have ran in gangs for their entire lives, I feel like you're just in the business of creating Crashouts you can capitalize off of. And I hope to God that YFG Fatso and Chucky don't fall victim to it, as I personally think if they stay free, they are going to be the faces of Chicago, whether through OTF or just through their musical talent alone. YFG Fatso is still a teen, so there's still a good chance for him to leave the streets behind and focus on his musical craft. But with how the culture at OTF is, it's a coin flip to whether he'd actually want to change his life for the better, as everything bad he's done is seemingly rewarded. That might just be a symptom of drill popularity in general, but OTF seems to have the most signs of it. Hopefully Fatso gets out of jail this time and dives fully into music. If not, sadly, we're going to see the cycle repeat itself once again, where another great talent gets snuffed by the justice of the law. Here's hoping he stays out of it though. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment who y'all trying to see next, and subscribe with the bell to be notified of all my future uploads. Next week I'm going to try to have that Lil Cracker update out. If not though, it's going to be a video on Hurricane Wisdom, Rel Vert, or Skrilla, as my old Skrilla video is god awful and he deserves a redo. With all that out the way, peace out, chill out.
Fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their